Patrick, hi. You are right on the money. How's the audio so far? Hi, Andrea. Thank you guys for joining us. Love how you guys are like right on the money. Mango Paradise. Fire. Yes. Welcome, guys. It's Independence Weekend still, right? I can still say that? Okay, audio's good. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. Let's see. Do we have anybody on Facebook Live yet? Not seeing anybody just yet. That's my AC guy trying to call me. That's not gonna be good. He's gonna keep trying to call. Call him on that phone, please. You probably should do it like almost now because he's gonna keep calling back. Hey guys. All right.
What's his name?
EDEL, I think. I don't even know if that number is saved over there, to be honest. Should be though.
Hello?
Yeah. We are waiting for everybody. Is the internet still on? Yes?
Good evening. You're trying to call Trudy?
Hi, Toridan.
This is the AC guy.
Thank you for joining us.
You were trying to call just now. Are you on your way here? Or?
We are waiting for everybody else to join, and as well as our guests.
Okay.
So
She's right now getting on a IG live
Alright.
show. So is this gonna be a noisy endeavor?
I think everybody's out doing weekend stuff, so we'll see how many people join us today. Hi, Dorgan.
Okay. Alright. We'll go take a look. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Thanks.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's coming up.
I think everybody's just being late as normal. That's okay. We'll take anybody even if they're late.
BC, Mark, _ RTY.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Let me see it.
I don't even know if he's following.
Hi, Jim. And Van English. Hope I said that right. Hi, guys. Welcome. Hi, Jim on Facebook. There's a Jim on Instagram and a Jim on Facebook. Yes, I am supposed to be talking. I am actually getting our guest online. So give us a second here. We're trying to get started. What you got going on? Oh, so we're going to talk about money management today. So I'm waiting on our guest to come on, so I'm communicating with him just to make sure he's good. So he should be on in a second. Hi, Keith. Thanks for joining us. Yes, we try to be goat whisperers, Jim. Give us a second here. Here you go. All right. Okay, sweet. Don't we all need that? After that's definitely, we all need all the money management help we can get. From right after kindergarten. Yes, we should start a lot early. I do agree with you. So we'll take it now and move forward with it. How about that? Better late than never. That's a principle we're working with today. So yeah. I'm still looking for a guest. He should join us here in a little bit. Closer 81, thanks for joining us. This should be good information today, guys. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to this. Cheapo Depot 8, I love that name. Thank you for joining us. Okay, awesome. Oh, this is Rhymesbury. Rhymesbury, you're switching up things on me here. Okay, hi Miriam. Oh, there you go. Hi Mark, I see you now. Let's see here. There we go. Mikey Natural on Facebook. Thanks for joining us. How are you? Oh, there's our guest for today. How are you, Mark?
I'm good. You?
Good, thank you. It's what, virtually in person? I guess that's the new, right? So,
likewise.
I'm so glad. It's pretty cool. We have a nice family here on Saturday.
Hold on one second.
Dr. Patrick, I see you. All right, I think Mark is getting his internet situation all squared away. That's okay. I'm good, Mikey. I think I answered you on Facebook. Are you good? Liberty Inspirations has joined us. Hi, Liberty. Welcome. But you hear the fan in the background. It's always.
There we go. Hear me better now?
Yes, very good. Thank you so much. All right. So since it's a holiday weekend, we're going to jump into this so we can get all this great juicy information and give everybody a lot of good, useful information that they can use going forward. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for all our old faithful joining us on Facebook Live and Instagram. We love having you guys. And our guest today is Mark Bailey. And Mark Bailey works NCB, the NCB National Commercial Bank, and his role is he manages portfolios for business customers. So we're going to get into talking a little bit about money, and so we can get an idea of what we're doing and some great tips and tricks and advice from Mark. So Mark, welcome again. Thank you. All right. So to get us started, can you give us a little bit of information on your background? What part of Jamaica you're from? Where'd you go to school? Your journey into banking? How long you've been doing this? Just give us. We like to hear everybody's dirt.
I'm actually from Maypen, Clarendon. I studied at Glenmuir, and then I went to the University of the West Indies. After graduating, like most graduates, you sit at home waiting for a job, sending out a lot of applications. Coincidentally, someone called and asked, "Hey, how would you like to work at a bank?" And I'm like, "Of course, sounds great." Because on the door you see from 8:30 to 2:30, so you're like, after 2:30 work is over, and it's just like being at school. Yeah, ignorance is bliss, because I didn't know that banking was far more than that after 2:30. Anyways, I applied, got the job, started as a teller, and to be honest, I liked the job. I was quite fascinated. I was very excited about working at a bank. Started as a teller, then became a senior teller. Then I transitioned over to credit department, where I started with delinquency and inputting loans and preparing documentation. And that was at the Chapelton branch at the time. It has now been closed though. And then one day I just decided I wanted a change of environment. I went to the Mapen branch, met the manager for the first time, sat down and said, "Sir, I want to come to your branch." Came to his branch and started doing my thing, got promoted to a personal financial officer. Did that for like a year and 6 months. And then I was transitioning to the role of a business banker. And I've been in that role a little over 2 years now. So yes, quite a journey, but it has been fun. So I've been with the bank, 11 years. March gone, it has been 11 years.
So you started when you're, that why you still?
I have a fountain of youth, and I have a secret, so I can share that on another live.
Okay, so maybe we have another live just for that, like you said. Okay. I always want to know the fountain of youth, so we're always tips there. Awesome. Thank you so much. So when you think about your role as the business profiles or business customers, if I walk into your NCB bank and I said, "Hey, tell me what you do. What can you do for me when I walk as a business?"
Well, as a business banker, I really cannot tell a customer how to operate their business. But what I can do is provide advice. Now, most business customers, they typically do not pass their income, the business income through an account. And based on the fact that they're self-employed, once you approach a financial institution for any financial assistance, the first thing that they want to look at is your business account and see the income that's passing through there, to kind of get a feel of how the business is operating on a monthly basis. So that's the first place I start. I always recommend that customers pass their income through some financial institution. It doesn't have to typically be with NCB, but of course, I'm going to strongly recommend that you pass it through NCB's account, right? From there, once you start the relationship, then the sky is the limit. I advise customers how to operate their account, so that when they come in for, let's say, just a temporary overdraft or some working capital support, I can easily grant the facility to them. So,
pass their income an institution. What do you mean by that, please?
Pardon me?
When you say pass their income through an institution, explain to me what you mean by that.
Meaning that whatever your sales, the funds that you get from your sales, always ensure to pass it through your business account. And I see some of my business customers actually joining the live as well. Lewin's Auto. So whatever sales you get, it's strongly recommended that you pass the income through an account. And even if you're going to use the money the same day or the following day, that's fine. That's not an issue. But we need some form of record, and it's also good for the customer as well, because once let's say you earn 100,000 in sales, and from that sales you want to pay 20,000 to a supplier, then it's much easier for you to trace that funds and see how you manage your income. So I always recommend that. That's the first thing.
Right. So I think a big challenge that a lot of self-employed people have with that is that they usually get paid cash. And people like to have, and then just turn around and instead of, like you said, putting it in a financial institution, so then you have money going through. So yeah, that is a big challenge, because now you have to go to the bank and deposit it. But it is definitely worth doing that so you can keep track of what's going on. So
Right.
from the professional, don't just hold that cash on hand. Okay, don't put it on it. I know everybody love put their money under the mattress, right? Don't do that.
No, I know. With business customers, sometimes it's tedious to have that cash, and then especially now with the whole COVID situation, I know difficult it is to get in the banks. It they normally just use the cash and just put it back into the business, right? The downside to that, I mean, it's convenient for the customer, but the downside to that is when you're coming to us for some assistance, then we cannot trace cash. It cannot trace cash. It has to be going through an account. So that is why the banks have put measures in place to ensure that it's easier for customers to pass income through their account. So for business customers, there's a Dropbox system, or depending on the amount of cash, you can do it at the ABM. Just some alternatives so that you don't have to go through those long lines. Because we understand the importance of cash going into your account.
All right, so that's good to know because I always dread going to the bank and standing in the long line. So you said we can do it at ATM because in my location, the bank location that's closest to me is not an actual bank; it's only an ATM. So you said I could do there.
Yeah, man, you can at the ATMs you can lodge up to 150,000. So yeah, man. So it's 150,000 per Midas card. So if you have a Midas card, you can lodge up to 150,000 to any account. And if you have, let's say for instance, a partnership and both persons have a Midas card, then between both of you, it's up to 300,000 you can lodge their account. So
very good, very good. All right. So describe some of the standard business products that you have in place right now that could help us as farmers.
All right. So as we discussed before, passing money through your account. So firstly, it has to be an account, whether it's going to be a regular savings account or a checking account, right? We also have, once you have an account, same time you open an account, we also sign you up for online banking. And the business online banking system is very simple. And it allows customers to do practically anything apart from withdraw cash. So you can pay your suppliers whether they have an account with NCB or any other financial institution, whether it's even international. All of that can be done online. And as I said before, it's much easier for you to trace your transaction, trace how your money is being spent, right? But separate and apart from the accounts, I mean, once you start the account and we start that relationship, then you're open up to facilities like a business credit card. You're open to facilities like unsecured loans, secured loans if you have secured facilities. We also have the point of sale machine. So you know that nowadays a lot of persons aren't really walking with cash. So if you have a point of sale machine, then simply use a credit card and swipe or the debit card, and then that fund is credited directly to your account. So it's convenient, and also there's a security measure of that because not so easy to rob you when you don't have the cash, when it's going straight to your account. But just a tip of the iceberg, those are just some of the facilities that we have often, and all of that, as I say, just opening an account, starting the relationship, avails you of all those facilities.
So you talk secured accounts and unsecured accounts. What are those?
All right, so unsecured loan, as the name suggests, there is no form of collateral provided for us to give you the funds, right? Now, for instance, there is a facility that we have. It's called a merchant advance facility. This facility is granted based on the activity of the point of sale machine that you have. So depending on how many persons you have using their card and your settlement amount, that will determine how much you would qualify for. And just based on that, once we do the stats and look at it, the system will tell us how much money we can give you. It normally starts at $1 million, but it can go up to $20 million. And it depends on your affordability, of course. Every facility depends on your ability to repay. So we'll have to do some assessment, but that's where it starts. Secured facility, now, as the name suggests, you're going to provide collateral to secure the loan. Now, the benefit of secured facilities is that the rates are normally better. The rates are better than unsecured facilities, normally single digit, and you get a longer tenure, longer time to repay, so your monthly payment isn't as high, so it won't affect your cash flow so much. And for security, we accept property, we accept cash, we accept vehicles, and even accept some stocks. Now, when I say cash, some persons might be saying, why use the cash and take a loan when you have the cash already, right? It's simple. I mean, let's say for instance, you have $1 million and you want to use that as security to take a loan, right? You know, if you're a person with integrity, then once you take a loan, you're more guaranteed to make that monthly payment to pay your loan. Whereas if you use that cash, you might not be as disciplined to save back that money. You understand? So that's one of the benefits. And with the cash secured loan, the rates are very low. So you might not even feel it.
Might not even feel it. Okay. So could I, for the cash secured loan, could I put that money in an account and on it and
Yes.
I kind of get the benefits of both worlds? I get a loan interest and no?
Oh, go ahead again. Repeat the question. You were breaking up just now.
If I did a cash secured loan, is it possible to put that like in an investment account and get interest as well as then pay back the loan?
Yes, you can do that. So a lot of customers put their money on what is called NCB capital market. That is the investment side of NCB. I can't really. I'm not certified. I'm not a certified advisor in that side, so I can't really say much. But once you put the money there, you earn interest on that, and then we use that same funds, we hold that funds, and use that security to grant you the facility that you want. So depending on how much you have over there, we will give you up to 95% of whatever cash you put up as security.
Okay, that's very good to know because I didn't know that. So I learned something today. So that's awesome. All right. So so we talked about secured loans, unsecured loans, credit cards. Anything else out there that we can look to as a farmer? Because remember, many of us as farmers, I'm trying to speak for the masses here. A lot of farmers are self-employed, all right, and so they just do everything, in their personal account, and they're like, okay, what else? What would be the benefit of me going in business? So it's a lot. I'm sorry. It's a lot. Sorry, something just blew in here. I don't know what. That's why I joked. Sorry, guys. So the benefit is, and one thing to talk about was traceability, right? Of tracking that money. So that's a good way for the unsecured loan. Gives them give you guys that as I'm taking it out. And we can keep track of that. So that's good. All right. So approximately how many of your business customers are farmers?
Well, to be honest, a lot of the farmers don't typically register their business. They tend to operate just as a self-employed individual, right? And because of that, they would not really fall under my portfolio, because to fall under my portfolio, they'll have to have a registered business. Now, that being said, we do have sales officers in the branch that take care of these customers. So if they're self-employed, they're a farmer, they're passing the money through their personal accounts, not a business account, and they're doing, let's say they're passing the money through their account for every month. Let's say 100,000 every month, and we have a stats of 12 months. It's 12 months they're passing money through the account, and they can give us an income verification letter from an accountant to say, all right, John Brown works as a farmer and he earns 100,000 per month. Then we can still give him some form of financing. It just would not be under the business portfolio. It would be a personal facility. So we still can assist depending on how they're operating their account. So as I say, it's important to be passing money through an account, because here at NCB, that's what we use to really do our assessment. And then, as I said before, the account does not have to be with NCB. If you have a business account, if you have an account at Scotia or JN, and you're passing money through there, and you are interested in a facility, bring a 12-month printout, come, we still can look at something for you.
Doesn't matter where you are right now. You can NCB or other financial institution and get us as long
Right.
as you track record basically.
Right.
All right. So walk us through the steps. Okay, I come in to knock on your door, come in one day, and as we're going to start that relationship with NCB, maybe a new customer, right? What do you need of a potential customer?
To open a business account.
Open a business.
All right, so after they've registered with company's office, and sorry, I can't really tell you the procedure how to register with company's office. I'm not really sure, but I hear that it's very simple. So all they need to go to is the website. But once you have registered, let's say you're registered as a sole trader, so it will be Mark Bailey trading as farm supplies, right? They just need to bring if their business was registered up to 18 months within the last 18 months. So they can just give us the business registration, a valid TCC, a tax compliance certificate, and a cash flow projection. And they just walk in with their ID, TRN, proof of address, 2 references, and that's it. So that's simple to open an account once it is a sole trader.
So you mentioned the TCC, the tax compliance. Do you know how we go about getting that? Do you know anything about that?
You just go to tax office and tell them that you don't want a TCC, and what they'll do, they'll just run. I think they just run your TRN and see if you have any outstanding payments to make at either NHT, NIS, or at the tax office. Once that is up to date, you're good to go. They'll give you a letter, and you'll get a TCC. It's normally valid for 3 to 6 months. And I hear that now in the COVID time, they're just basically just giving out TCC. So even if you have outstanding fees, they're just giving out TCCs.
This is later than sooner. Because we did ours and we didn't know it was only going to last for 3 months until, I think it was like the 7th month. We were like, okay, we're ready to open our business account. Expired. I'm like, well, nobody told us that. So we had to go backtrack and get it, reinstated. So guys, if you don't have your TCC, Mark just told us now is a good time to get it.
It's a good time to go and get it.
Giving them away, you're good. So now is the time to do, and I didn't know that, so that's good to find out as well. So guys, we definitely encourage you to go out to TCC. Now is the time to do. So
hold on, but the thing is, once you register your business, I recommend that you come in to open an account ASAP. Reason being, after 18 months has passed, after registering your business, it becomes a little bit more tedious to open the account, because what you're going to need audited financial statement from your accountant, or you're going to need financial statements prepared by a registered public accountant, and sometimes that can be costly and time consuming. So once you're registered, try to open the account within the first year, or within the first 3 months, because once you start that relationship and you have, let's say with NCB, once you've registered over a year and you have the account with us for at least 6 months, automatically, depending on what you're passing through the account, we can give you a pre-approved credit card. And the benefit of a credit card is, 1, it's as good as cash, and 2, the way Jamaica is going now, no credit is as bad as bad credit. So a credit card, once you manage that well, that builds your credit just like that. So
I think I need to build in my credit in Jamaica.
Well, I can sign up for the credit cards after this. No, not a problem.
Now I have a person. So this is all right. So okay, so let's think about this for a second. What would you say are the top 5 challenges most business owners face when they're when they come into you and say, hey, I'm ready for this account? What challenges have you come across that most companies have right now?
So I didn't hear all of the question because you were breaking up, but I think you asked the challenges they have when they come in to do business with us.
Yes.
All right. So one of the challenges that I've seen is that the business was registered a long time ago, and let's say they weren't operating or they're just starting to operate now, but it has been over 18 months. They have to get letters from the accountant to say they have been operating, and they have to provide us with a nil return from tax office just to get the account open. So that's why I say it's important to get the account shortly after you register the business. Other challenge I've seen, and this is a big one, the customers provide financial statements that show, hey, they show decent enough revenue and profits. However, I do not have an account that I can match those revenues with because they're doing a lot of cash transactions and I cannot trace cash. So even though they're profitable, and we might even know the customer, know that the customer is cash rich, in terms of doing an assessment to grant a facility, we can't provide it just because customer hasn't passing the money through an account and they didn't file the tax return or something like that. So once you pass in the money through account, that kills that. Also, we've seen where there's just been some poor management of existing facilities that have been granted. So sad to say, a lot of times customers are given credit cards per se, and they're not efficiently told how to manage a credit card, and it cause a problem. They make late payments, basically kill their credit, and then when they come in for that big project where they see this piece of land that they want to purchase to boost the business even further, I can't do anything because they had a credit card that they weren't told how to manage, and it went bad. So always try to, after giving the customer a credit card, I always say, once you have an issue, contact the bank. What else have I been faced with business customers? Oh, well, those are the main things, really. I mean, once with my customers, once I start the relationship and I advise them of passing money through the account, once they just more or less heed to my advice, when they come in for a facility, I don't have any challenges. No challenges whatsoever.
So when you talked about the credit card and late payment for the credit card or not consistently keeping up with the credit card, it reminds me of a discussion I heard one time of somebody talking about farmers getting loans from banks and then banks expecting monthly payments all the time. And they were saying, well, I can't do the monthly payment because I might get money in clumps, so to speak. Like I get some money now and then no money for a couple months. What do
Mm.
you advise farmers when they come in to get loans?
All right. So for personal facilities, let's say let's say the farmer didn't register the business, and they have to take on a personal facility. Unfortunately, personal facilities aren't that flexible where we can say, okay, we expect a payment every 3 months or every 6 months, right? So personal facilities have to be paid monthly. However, if it's a business facility, those are very flexible in terms of payment terms. So if it's a case where the farmer gets a lump sum payment every 3 months or every 4 months, wherever, the facility can be structured in such a way that you're only required to pay a monthly payment every 4 months. But as I say, that has to be a business facility, which means that person has to be registered. So you see the benefit of business compared to being personal. That's just one of the benefits. Because with businesses it's much more flexible. And at the end of the day, we do not want the business to fail. And we do not want our facility to put any strain on the customer and cause that business fail. Because if that business fail, then we don't get paid. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's a win-win for both parties.
Okay,
So mhm.
that makes sense. So that we kind of already segue into what I wanted to talk about is business versus personal accounts. What are the pros for going ahead? And because a lot of people already have a personal, so what are the pros for going ahead and that the four that will be already talked that you have more flexibility there as far as you work with the business account better than you can work with a personal account. what other benefits are there to make the step to go switch to a business account or open a business account?
All right. So apart from that, apart from the flexibility, the business account, in my opinion, I think they have better rates in terms of granting facilities. Uh, and then for business customers, there's a lot of help that is out there for business customers, for SMEs. So you have DBJ facilities that we can grant, and trust me, DBJ grabbing up on those type of facilities. So they're quick to assist small businesses. We also have USAID, where they are go ahead.
What's DBJ?
Development Bank of Jamaica. Sorry.
All right. Everybody knows all these acronyms, so we have to make sure. So if you get products from DBJ, if you're set up as a business account, okay. All right, go ahead.
So that's one. With the business accounts, also you're going to always have somebody managing your account. So let's say, for instance, you have a checking account and you write a check on the account, and it is not the norm for us to see a check of that amount or seeing your account going overdrawn, and instantly somebody is going to be contacting your business banker is going to be contacting you to confirm it. Or it's a case where you're expecting some money to come in, but it hasn't come in yet, and you need to pay a supplier and you need to overdraw your account just a little. Then you can speak with your business banker based on the operation of the account. We can put something in place to ensure that your supplier is happy and you're okay as well. But pretty much with business banking, I think for me, I think it's a little bit more personal than the personal banking, because you're going to always be in touch with the business banker. The business banker is always going to be there to assist you. So it's a closer relationship, in my opinion.
When you're a business, time is of the essence. And if you have that person that you can pick up the phone and call and say, can you do X, Y, Z? If you have to physically go there, you don't have to stand in the line. You can just go straight to that person. It makes a
Yeah, but even so, even all right. So since since the whole COVID, there are a lot of business customers that I haven't seen in a long while. Reason being is because the online banking has been set up in such a way that really and truly can pretty much do everything online. And as I said before, the only thing that you can do online is get cash, because everything else is available to you. And then, of course, we have a specialized team that is there. So if the system is down or there are those one-off transactions that you need to be done, then we'll facilitate those. But business online is very, very easy to use.
very good. So you've given us pretty much I think you've given us a compelling reasons to consider opening business accounts. All right. So we definitely, guys, on Mark's behalf, encourage you guys to go out there and open business accounts. NCB institution. Although Mark for NCB, that's sure, that's definitely. But it's definitely. I hope we have seen all the benefits. You guys will definitely consider doing it. All right. So tell us, can you give us overall advice or any kind of tips when it comes to starting a business, or if you're business, how to start managing that business? And I think you already have some, and you can actually repeat some of those, because we have a couple people that come on late, and sometimes you have to hear stuff more than once for it to sink in your head. So go ahead and give us some tips as business owners for what we need to do.
As business owners?
Yeah.
Well, what I've been told is that the advice that I get from my business customers is that find somebody in a related field that you can talk to and get advice from them. I mean, don't try to reinvent the wheel, right? If you realize that there's somebody out there that is doing well, then simply get some tips from them. It's that simple. Of course, with any business, management is key, and let's say depending on the type of industry that you're in, you have to be able to manage your expenses. I've seen where persons have great turnover, but they don't have any much profits because their expenses just depleting everything. So after finding what you love, that business that you think you can manage effectively, and you think that it's lucrative enough, get the advice from others who are in the same line. And after doing that, of course, start a relationship with your bank, right? And just as I said, try to manage your expenses. That I see that from in my experience, that is what kind of caused me. And person try to use their personal cash to take on some big projects, so they're depleting their working capital. And what that does is then it put that strain on your cash flow, where you're not able to replenish your inventory. And then if you don't have inventory, of course you have nothing to sell, right? And I know a lot of persons do not like to borrow, but in some cases, that is what the bank is there for. We're here to assist, right? And ensure, because don't think of it as a loan, because how we look at it, whenever we loan a business money, we see that as an investment in the business, right? That is NCB invested in your business. So if you come to us, we're going to do an assessment to see whether or not it's worth doing an investment in your business. And once we see that there's potential and we want to assist, it's for you to just, the ball is in your court from there.
That's good. That's awesome. I never thought about loan as the bank thinking of us as an investment in your business. So that's a very good point there, because I always think about a loan on the side of, oh my gosh, I got to pay this money back. But it's good to use other people's money too. So let your money sit down and grow, and use other people's money to grow your business. So that I'm glad you definitely brought that point up there.
I see somebody asking what value of a stock portfolio. Well, it depends on the stock that it is on, because not all stocks can be used as security. So I'd have to find out from well, I'm not sure where you would have the funds, but we'd have to find out from the advisor, the investment advisor, to see what stock it is on, and see if we can use that security. But typically, it's normally depending on the stock, it's normally between 75 to 95% we can use as security.
And here's something else to kind of to go back to the discussion on tracking your money, tracing where it goes. I had this discussion one morning with a really good friend of ours that we work together, trades back and they do chicken, and of course we do the goats, and we trade back and forth, and that's an agreement that we made. But we also talked about the fact that we still need to keep track of, we're giving, we're back and forth to track that, right? Because a lot of us give stuff away, which I'm a big culprit of that. I give stuff away. Oh, it's not a big deal. But when you start writing down that one little egg that you gave away, or that chicken that you gave away, that, and if you actually started selling that, how much money you're generating, you might think again before you start just giving stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Passing my drink.
Okay, that says, you mentioned passing money through an account, but for the part-time farmer whose income is, how much does this inconsistency in deposits affect the potential for him to access loans? Okay, great question.
All right, so as if you're registered as a business, okay. Hold on one sec. Yeah, if you're registered as a business, as I said before, the repayment of a facility is dependent on how you get paid. So normally, look at it this way. Persons who work for somebody are paid monthly, right? Which means that we expect that you're going to repay your loan monthly. That is why the loan is set up for with a monthly repayment. If you're paid fortnightly, then we can either set it to be fortnightly paid or monthly paid. Now, if you're paid quarterly, or you're only paid twice for the year, then we can set the loan as such. But of course, it depends on how much you're earning for that 6 months. So what would happen is that let's say, I don't want to get technical, but you get a loan that would only ask for payment every 6 months. So you can get a loan for 2 years, and you are only going to be required to make a payment to the loan every 6 months. Or it can be a case where you can get a loan for a year, and let's say you get a loan for $1 million. There's no set amount that you're required to pay. However, you are expected to repay the loan by the 12 months. So as I said, for business customers, it's very flexible in the terms of your repayment terms. All we need to first ascertain is how you're paid, and then we can determine how you're going to repay the loan. And I saw another question about business. Would you give a 100% chance on to a business? Of course, we give 100%. Hold on 1 second.
So we give 100% finance vehicle loan to a business owner?
Of course. We normally give those to new vehicles. So I would gladly give a 2021 or a 2020 vehicle 100% financing. We have a promotion going on now where you can get 100% financing for new and 1-year-old vehicles. The only difference is that the tenure would be different. So for new vehicles, you get like 9 years. For 1-year-old vehicles, you get 8 years. But 100%. So that's answer your question, Timmy.
Another good one there. Let's see. Do we have any from Facebook that we're missing? No. Questions here. You guys have some great. Mark has excellent information. I've learned a lot tonight. Mark, we definitely appreciate your time. You guys have any other questions? Now, one of the things is you keep mentioning you register as a business. If you're mentioning doing like a sole proprietorship, what about to do an LLC or incorporation? Is there any variance on you get better products from the bank, or is it?
No, the products are pretty much the same. However, I think I like the LLC, limited liability company. Reason being is the individual themselves is protected, right? That's what I like about limited liabilities. So it's pretty much the same facilities that both persons will get, but for limited liability companies, it just means a little bit more paperwork in terms of the documents that you'd have to sign. But the documentation that you're required to provide is the same as a sole trader or a partnership.
Right. And I'm glad you brought out exactly what you do is to tell them that you're protected personally when you set up as a limited liability corporation as opposed to a sole proprietorship. So all right. So let's see. Did I have any other questions?
TV is asking you to start a business account. All right. So TV, for the business account, first you just have to get registered with company's office. And then once you do that, you come in with a valid tax certificate, compliance certificate, the TCC, cash flow projection, and the business registration, of course, and then your ID, your TRN, and so forth. That's pretty much it.
And you said two references. Who do those 2 references need?
References can either be an existing NCB account holder, can either be a JP, can be a pastor, and of course all we require is just the name and the number. They don't have to give you a formal letter or anything like that. Just give us the name and the number, we'll make the call.
Okay, very nice. All right. I thought I heard it had to be a formal letter, so it's good to know that they changed that. You just need perfect. Moving forward to the 21st century, yay! 21st banking here. All right. So any other? Like I said, so Mark, can anybody, regardless of where we are in the country, or some people online are international, but they have farms here, would you be able to work regardless of where we are? Or does it?
Well, yes, we can work with them. I've never actually given a facility to a business overseas, because normally it would be the US or so forth, and I can't compete with those rates. But for if once they register out here and they're operating out here, then of course we can give them facilities. It just means that typically you'll find those persons be like, you're going to find that some directors are overseas for the limited liability company. But if you have more than one directors, then any two have the authority to proceed on the company's behalf. So
Most
it's still.
Yeah, most of the people overseas have fully established businesses here in Jamaica and it's registered. I was just asking, would it still be okay for you to work with them? All right. So here's another question. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm a short working after here and I'll come meeting.
Everybody's phone is question. If I open a business account, can I also set up a line of credit on that business account?
All right. Yes, you can set up a line of credit. Well, but of course, an assessment has to be done. Firstly, if you're a new business just starting, then we wouldn't be able to give you a line of credit unless it is cash secured.
Okay.
Well, that's the first thing. But if you have been, let's say you have been operating for some time, and you can provide us with your financial statements, preferably audited financial, but we'll work with unaudited, and we'll do our assessment and provide a line of credit on the facility, on the account for you.
What's the going interest rate on a business loan?
It depends on the type of depends on the type of loan. If it's unsecured, then it's like 13.5 in that region. Then if it's secured, of course, depending on the type of security, we're looking at 6.9 to 11. Yeah, 6.9 to 11%. And depending on the amount that you're requesting, then of course you can negotiate some better rates.
Very good. For an individual who has a loan through his business account but is employed otherwise, can he finance his loan from his or her salary and not the business?
All right. So we do not mix the two. So if it is that you're taking a business loan, then the business has to pay for that loan. And we would, based on the fact that you're employed somewhere else, we would not give you a business loan for it to be paid from your salaried employment, right? We would not do that. So business loan has to be paid from the business, and then your personal loan will be paid from your salary. What happens though is you can take a personal loan to do some business. So it's not a business loan; it's a personal loan to do business. So in that case, you could do that.
Okay, so we would get a personal loan, and then we put it over to the business side, and then we can pay that back from our regular salary. Is that what you said?
Right. So yeah, that's a personal loan to do for business purposes. Mm-hmm.
Is that a pretty good interest rate there, or is it just like a standard personal loan that you're getting there as far as?
To be honest, rates aren't so bad. I mean, if it's unsecured, then I think for self-employed persons, it's like 15.5 or somewhere there. They have reduced the rates based on the whole COVID. So I'm not so offy with, and I don't do personal facilities. So I'm not so offy with the rates, but our rates like 15.9. I don't think you reach 16.
Okay. Now you mentioned secured loan. You would even take a vehicle to secure the loan, but how would you do that? Do you take the vehicle? Do you still get the
All right. So for auto equity loans, right, where we use a vehicle as security, what we do is we will just take a lien over the vehicle. So if the vehicle, we only accept 5-year-old and younger, and it has to be in good condition. So of course we're going to want to see the valuation, see how much it values, and see what condition that it is in. Once we're comfortable with the security, then we'll put a lien on the title. We'll hold the title. We'll hold on to your title. We'll hold on to the vehicle. We'll hold on to the title. And for 5-year-old, I think we give 70. Is it 75? Yes, it's 75% of what the vehicle values. You can borrow up to 75% of what the vehicle values, up to a maximum of 3 million, I think.
Okay.
But the younger the vehicle, the more equity you'll have in the vehicle, and also the more time you get to repay, the more you can borrow.
Good. A lot of very good information here. Have I missed any questions? You guys have any other questions from Mark? He's done a phenomenal job. So I think you probably will go over to NCB. He's done such a great communicating this information. Or if they work with another institution, then they can go and educating questions.
Mhm.
That's what he said. So now you need to tell me what you can provide based on your institution. All right. Seeing a lot of people saying a lot of great information, sir. All right. So I know you are crunched for time today, and plus it's a big weekend. We're gonna go ahead and let everybody off a little bit early today because we're celebrate independence. So
Right.
Mark, phenomenal. Thank you so much. And further, Mark, reach out to us, send us a DM, and we'll be happy to get you information that you need. But we definitely got a wealth of information here. So did you want to give any?
I didn't get the last part. You broke up.
I said I was just saying thank you. You gave a lot of information that very valuable information. So I was just asking, would you like to give any closing comments before we finish out the live?
Well, I'm looking forward. Let me first do this. And I am looking forward to a lot of business customers coming my way.
Am I free to share your contact
Yeah,
information last?
yeah, man, I posted it. You
Okay.
can give up this contact. It's my
Oh,
contacts.
there you go,
Yeah.
guys. Contact information. So pick up the phone, call him, say, "Hey, I heard you on the live with Cabra Ranch." So help me out. So yeah,
Uh,
he help. So go ahead, Mark.
oh, I want to commend you, coverage. This is very good, though. What you're doing.
Here, thank you.
Yeah, man, it's very good because a lot of I trust that a lot of farmers get a lot of information that they needed tonight. So let's keep it going on. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you so much, Mark. Guys, please like and tell everybody come join us. So I know it seems weird on a Saturday night we're hanging out, but we always get a lot of great, useful information. So we will see you guys next week. So Mark, whenever you want to come back, let me know. We'll schedule your nice round discussion about something else as long as save some money. So thanks again, guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you. Thanks, Mark. Bye
All
bye.
right. Take care.
Bye bye.